So this one's a little bit vague, but I'm going to do my best. What are the three most important elements for a school to be profitable, a jiu-jitsu school? Well, to be profitable, and three elements, I'm just going to rank order what I think the most important elements are for it to be profitable. Obviously, we want to have low expenses. If we can keep our expenses low, there's more opportunity for it to be profitable. So having cheaper rent, super important. Having as minimal amount of staff as necessary to provide a good service, that's important. You obviously don't want to overhire a ton of instructors that you can't afford. So that would look like, if you're the owner, you're probably also the teacher. And I don't recommend that. I think there should be the owner who's dealing with the managerial side and the administrative side of things. And then you should have an instructor who's focused solely on teaching and making sure that the students are having a good time. I think those are non-negotiable. You need to have an instructor and you need to have someone who's managing things, even if that person is also working the front desk and things like that. So don't try and save money by trying to do everything yourself. You'll most likely fail. So that's one important part. The second most important element, I would say, is organization. Most people are woefully disorganized, unorganized. That was the first thing I did when I started up my gym, was I got organized. And it's one of those things where if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So take the time to get really organized before you start making moves. You don't want to run into this blindly. You want a solid plan. And if you're not quite sure how to organize things, start by making lists. Lists that are in order chronologically of what you need to do first to next. And this just is like basically a thought exercise for you to actually work through your mind. What are all the different aspects that I need to think about and actually complete to make progress, right? So one thing you could invest in is like some sort of project manager software, project management software. I mean, it could be as simple as like you having Post-it notes on a wall, like Kanban style, that's what that's called. Or you could use an actual project manager app like Trello or ClickUp or Asana or any of those sort of things. I like ClickUp a lot. It just is it's a little bit of a learning curve, but it just makes it very, very easy to organize information by task. And that's an important mindset. Is like, you can't look at the whole operation of owning a business and be like, okay, I need to run a business. You have to break it down into very, very, very tiny parts called tasks. So that means looking at your first steps and being like, what are the tasks I need to do today to start? What are the tasks I need to do this week to continue? What are the tasks I have to do this month to progress towards my goal or my vision? And make lists of those things and make sure that there's a date that you actually are going to complete it by, because many great ideas die in your bedroom where you think about it and then you just never actually act on it. And action is the only way to get results. You must be taking action, daily, consistent action. And to take daily, consistent action, you must be organized, because I know you think you can hold it all in your brain, but there's just way too much going on to keep it prioritized properly. So it's like, organize, prioritize, and then execute. So get everything down on a piece of paper, in a project manager, in a note, whatever, however you're going to do it. Then look at all those things, all those jumbled pieces of what must occur for you to start your gym, and then organize them by priority. What has to happen first? Usually you can look at that, and if you can't, send it to me. I'll tell you what you need to do first. Join our program and we'll help you. We'll make you the list. I have the list. I already have the list. I'll send it to you. But it is important to be organized yourself and start to think from the perspective of like, I need to take consistent action, and the tasks that I cannot complete myself, I need to delegate to others to complete. That's very important. I would say that's the second most important thing. And the third most important thing is to actually have a sales funnel and a sales system. They're kind of the same thing. Think about it like this. There's a lot of people in the world who could potentially do jiu-jitsu. They might potentially like jiu-jitsu. And they're out wandering around in your town or in your city. And your job is to tell those people you exist. That means through marketing. So you're posting on social media, hopefully people see it. You're telling your existing students to tell their friends, hopefully they can convince their friends to come in. You have a sign on the front of your building that says jiu-jitsu, hopefully people see that and come in. You're running ads, you're paying for those ads, you're paying for eyeballs, then you need to think about what am I showing those people to convince them to come in to my academy. So then you have a little bit of traffic. You have walk-ins, you got people from the ads. Hopefully you're collecting their information through some sort of lead form, which means getting their phone number and email at the very least, if not more information. And then you need to start thinking about what is the process of actually taking these potential people and getting them to sign up at my gym. I need them to sign the contract. I need them to give me their credit card. So it's probably the most difficult part to get right, but that's where the sales system comes in. And that means like putting yourself in the perspective of this potential client, what would they want to see when they first walk in to the point that they leave that would maximize your chances of convincing them to join your gym or to at least give you a chance to try something. So what that might look like is they sign up through some sort of lead form that you paid for via ads or on your website, and that's another story to like build the website and set up the lead form. But when you get that lead in, it comes into something called a CRM, customer relations management thing, and that the project managers have that, like ClickUp and things like that. And it can be automated so that when someone fills out the form, it just goes right to the project manager on your list of potential clients. And that's stuff that we do as part of our licensing and affiliation program. And from that point, you need to contact those people and make sure that they actually make an appointment and come in. You don't want to just leave them there hoping that they walk into your gym. Remember, action. Action is the only way to get results. So you have to take action on each one of these leads. That means texting them, calling them, asking them what their goals are, getting more information about why they're interested in jiu-jitsu or why they're in your gym. And it's very important to ask them how they found you. Is everyone coming from Google? Are they searching? What are they searching for? Did they search for jiu-jitsu in your city and they found you? Where do you rank? Go on like a private browser, incognito, see if you even rank anywhere. Maybe they heard from a friend. Maybe they heard from an ad. It's really up to you to kind of figure out what channel is most beneficial for you and invest in that channel. Invest in what's working for you. So for us, we get a ton of people in from Google reviews. So we have tons of Google reviews. Everyone loves our product, and we ask them to write reviews about it because they like it so much. So when people see the other gyms in our area, they see that we have tons of reviews, and it's like a no-brainer. I'm going to go try the gym that has tons of reviews. So we invested heavily in that process and continue to invest in the channels that were working for us. So then they come in, they make their appointment. You need to follow up with them to make sure they actually show up because no shows suck. So it means consistency and effort. And if you don't have the time or the inclination to do that, you need to delegate it to someone who can. You need your instructors or a front desk person to be actively reaching out to these leads. And time is of the essence. When the lead comes in, text them, call them. The lead's in, call. Set your notifications on. We got a new lead. Call them all day. That's your job or someone's job. And if you don't know how to do it, you're probably not going to be able to teach someone how to do it. So you kind of have to start yourself. At that point, you have to craft the experience. They come into your academy. What are you going to show them? What are you going to tell them? How are you going to convince this person that jiu-jitsu is for them? Chances are they think they're here for like kung fu or some taekwondo or something. They probably thought this is like traditional martial arts. They don't understand it as pajama wrestling. It's a little different. So you have to set the context. But first you need to ask them, like, have you trained martial arts before? Most people say yes. I trained Kempo in '99, in the garage in Ohio. I did that for about 3 years. That means nothing. So you say, oh, that's really interesting. Cool. Well, jiu-jitsu is a little bit different. And start to explain to them a little bit of the history of your academy, of jiu-jitsu overall, some of the benefits. But mainly you want to be asking what they are there for. What are your goals? Are you trying to get in shape? Like be physically strong or lose weight? Do you want more of self-defense? Or are you just more interested in the art? Are you a Joe Rogan fan? Are you a UFC fan? What do you want out of this experience? And then when they tell you, you then ask, okay, have you tried to solve this before? Have you gone to other academies? Have you tried jiu-jitsu in the past and it didn't work out? Why did it fail? If they're not sure, explain to them why their experience was bad in the past. The instructor threw you in to the intermediate class. You didn't get a lot of one-on-one attention. You felt like you were just floundering. You didn't know what to do. You didn't have a lot of resources, not a lot of instructor attention. Like there's a bazillion reasons it could have failed. Try and pinpoint what those reasons are, and then explain why that's not going to happen at this facility. At that point, you want to get them to try the program, right? If you immediately try and hard sell them on a agreement, like here's a 12-month contract, you're in or you're out. Most people are going to get a little flustered by that. So give them something with a time limit, something that's non-committal. That's why a lot of gyms try to do a free trial. Worst idea ever. Don't do free trials. If you're gonna do something, try and make it like sort of a package. Like it's this much money for this many weeks, and at the end you get to say you tried jiu-jitsu, right? That's kind of what our beginner's course is, although it's a lot more detailed and a lot more scientific in how we actually fill that course with value. If you want access to that, you need to ascend into our partners program. But if you're just trying this on your own, try and give them something that doesn't have an infinity timeline. You got to do jiu-jitsu for 10 years and then you'll get your black belt. Like, no one wants to hear that. They want it now, they want it fast, and they want results quickly. So that means, hey, if you try this beginner's course and you complete it within you'll complete it within 5 weeks, you will be able to say that you know how to do jiu-jitsu. And that's our goal, is to teach you how to participate in jiu-jitsu, to build your confidence, to give you a solid understanding of why you're here, to give you context, and to teach you, of course. And you're going to make a ton of great friends, and it's all going to be people who are beginners also. Then you try and sell them on the membership. After that has all been completed, it's about making a gradual on-ramp. If you just throw them right into a class, they're going to get mat burn. They're going to tweak their pinky. They're going to get a bump on their eye. They're going to get a black eye, and they're probably going to never come back if that's the case. So you really need to make this very gentle and understand that these guys are working professionals that have other jobs. They're not necessarily athletes. It's your job to get them to become a better version of themselves, not to become some super tough guy like, I'm ready to go win the local tournament. Most people are going to be non-confrontational, not aggressive. The reason they're there is because they're trying to build confidence in themselves. And so if you immediately crush their confidence in the first day or week, you've done the opposite of what they wanted. You need to build their confidence, which means quick wins, which means success. If they on their first class of their course or their beginner program, they should learn a real submission. Like, wow, you did an arm bar. That's an arm bar. Good job. Now you know what an arm bar is and you know how to do it. Or here's how to do a choke. And that's what the chokes are. You know how to tap. So now if you roll with someone, you know how to get out of jail free. That's your get out of jail free card. So quick wins where they can start feeling like they're progressing immediately. That's the way to go. I think those are the 3 most important ways. So that was a tough question. Thank you very much.